Hi, I'm Ross and you're watching Natural Aesthetics, the YouTube channel dedicated to true drug-free bodybuilding. In this video, I'm going to explain the advanced training technique, pre-exhaustion. I'm going to split the video into three parts: what is pre-exhaustion, why you should use it, and how you can apply it to your own training. So by the end of the video, you should have a good understanding of the advanced training technique, which in my opinion is really underrated. I rarely see it performed in the gym these days. By its own admission, it can be a great tool to increase the intensity of a particular set. But when you consider the benefit that it has for people that maybe struggle to perform a certain compound through joint aches and pains, or perhaps someone that struggles to really feel a muscle contracting or to get a pump during a certain exercise, then it really comes into its own and has fantastic benefits that shouldn't be underestimated. So what is pre-exhaustion? Well, it's an advanced training technique that simply put allows you to make the compound movement more difficult. So you would train an isolation movement, let's say quad extensions, and then you would immediately go into a compound movement, say leg press or squat, and therefore that compound would be much harder because you're already starting from a fatigued state. So you could maybe combine cable flyers or dumbbell flyers into a bench press, or straight on pull downs or pullovers into a row of some sort. So the possibilities are endless, but generally speaking, you're going to perform an isolation exercise into a compound movement of the same muscle mass. So pre-exhaustion essentially makes the compound movement more difficult. You might have to use less weight than you would usually do, or perform less reps at the same weight. You might ask, well, what's the point of that if I'm not able to do the same weight for the same reps? Well, there are a number of benefits. First and foremost, I'd like to say that if you just focus on progressive overload, assuming your form is consistent, and the weight goes up on certain exercises over time, you're probably going to see bigger muscles. However, if you can focus on that contraction and really be in tune to the muscle mass that you're working during an exercise, and you do that with the progressive overload, then your results will be quicker. Training will generally be more effective, in my opinion. For a lot of people, they really struggle to feel a specific muscle when they're doing certain compound movements. Maybe the quads on the squats, or feeling the pecs on the bench press. They might feel the front delts more. There are a number of examples. First and foremost, you have to check your form, make sure that it's effective for training the muscle mass that you want to train. Also, the weight that you're using, maybe it's too heavy, it's causing form breakdown, or maybe it's not heavy enough. You're not pushing enough weight, or you're not going as close to failure as you should do to warrant that muscular sensation that you might get. If all of those things are good and you still can't really focus on that muscle mass, then you could maybe consider pre-exhaustion, because it's a fantastic way of kind of priming the main target muscle and getting you to that muscular burn and sensation a lot quicker. It kind of sensitizes the area, in my opinion. So you could maybe perform a set of cable flies or dumbbell flies for your chest, and then immediately go onto the bench press and perform maybe 85 or 90% of the weight you would usually do. And you might match the reps that you would usually do at the heavier load, but you'll feel it a lot more. You'll straight away, after maybe 3 or 4 reps, feel it in the pecs, whereas usually you might not only feel that set right at the end without that pre-exhaustion. So I think it's really beneficial for people that struggle with connecting to a certain muscle, and can be really helpful. Secondly, people that struggle with maybe joint aches and pains on certain compounds, for example, maybe knee pain on the squats, or pec or armpit pain or shoulder pain on the bench press. Pre-exhaustion again is a fantastic way of allowing that person to perform that lift pain-free. Generally speaking, the area is going to be more warmed up, there's going to be more blood flow around the area, so less likely to get those aches and pains because everything's warm and everything's kind of mobilized. Also, you're generally speaking going to do less reps at a given weight, or use less weight than you would usually do, therefore reducing the risk associated with heavier loads. So it's kind of a win-win, really, when you think about it. So, for anyone that's struggling to do a certain compound movement and they just can't get it without that kind of joint pain, then give pre-exhaustion a go. I've used this in the past, and it's allowed me to train around injuries. So a couple of days ago, for my second chest and back session, did a few warm-up sets on the bench press, and I was feeling a little bit of a niggle in my left armpit area. So I did a warm-up, and it kind of didn't go away, so I decided to do some pre-exhaustion. I did the cable flies for high rep sets, maybe 12 to 25 reps, almost to failure, and then immediately followed that with bench press and just kind of added weight each set. Did 5 sets in total, and I was able to get up to a good amount of weight, just shy of what I would usually do. But the pain in my chest, the pump that I was getting was phenomenal in comparison to, I was getting a pump on the 3rd rep of the bench press, whereas usually I wouldn't really feel it that much on the pecs. So really effective, and it enabled me to train through a niggle that may have otherwise stopped me had I just continued to do regular bench. So it really has a fantastic purpose if you've got niggles, rakes, or pains on certain compound movements. So basically, it's a very debilitating advanced technique to use. So you have to be cautious with how you use it. Generally speaking, as I've said before, the higher the intensity, the lower amount of volume that you want to be doing. So you have to bear that in mind. For me personally, I would only do one true working set with pre-exhaustion. So all of the other warm-ups will kind of be ramping up, leaving some in the bag. So I might do, let's say for the cable flies, I did 3 plates on the cable stack for 20 reps. And then bench press, I did maybe 40k for like 8. And then I went back to the cable stack and did 4 plates for 15, 20 reps. And then did maybe 60k for 6 reps. And then again, 4 or 5 plates on the cable flies for 15 to 20 reps. Still, it's getting a good pump now, but it's not, impossible. And then going back to the bench and doing maybe 75 for 4 or so. And then the last set will be the working set, where I went to 20 reps on plate number 5, followed up with 8 reps at 90k straight after that. And by reps 4 or 5 on the bench press, my chest was really fried. I had a great mind to muscle connection on that. So that's how I would kind of incorporate into your training. Wouldn't need to use it every single session, but any compound that you're struggling on in terms of feeling it or due to an injury, then give it a go. Just be aware of that one working set because it's so debilitating. So thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, then please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more true natural bodybuilding videos and motivation. Check out my Instagram page. The link is in the description box below. And currently only about 6% of my subscribers are notified of videos that I upload. So if you want to be notified automatically, then click on that bell icon and you never miss a video. Thanks for watching once again. Stay strong.